So first off, tell us your name and where you live.
Okay, my name is Steve Hennings, and I live here with my wife, and I'm at 6th Street, Paducah. We bought this house about 6 months ago, and it's built in the early 1880s with all the problems that come with it. Went through with a historical contractor, and he ID'd all kinds of issues before we bought, and most of them were water related. So that's where Crawlspace Ace comes into the picture. All right, we had quite a few problems in the crawl space and the structure of the house that were identified to us before we purchased, and there were rotten sill plates, there was mold, the insulation was installed upside down. Well, the mold, we had some black mold, some white mold. It was extremely damp underneath the house. The mortar was in the bricks, was about 140 years old, and really had outlived its lifespan. We had cracked beams, twisted beams, rotten beams underneath. And the one nice thing about Crawlspace Ace is it was a one-stop shopping, basically. They came in, they soda blasted the mold and mildew off, which was fantastic. They pulled all the old insulation out, put new insulation in. They sistered beams, they replaced beams, and actually what they ended up doing is pouring a series of piers underneath the house, put new footings with piers and new beams, and actually floated, I think it's called a floating foundation. So the whole house is jacked up essentially, and it takes the pressure off the foundation. So no one company really could do all that. We would, I think our historical contractor was really relieved that we had found Crawlspace Ace, because he would have had to, I think, found us maybe 3 to 5 different contractors to do everything that we needed. So that's it in a nutshell. Yeah, the reason we chose Crawlspace Ace, one, they were a one-stop shopping outfit. They could repair the sill plates, do the foundation work, sister beams, remove mold and mildew with soda blasting, do the re-insulating underneath. And also the one thing that they could do it all, but the one thing that was really great is when I looked for all of the different, different services, different companies, they had, Lee had a lot of videos online where he came out and he just laid it all out. And I thought that was real refreshing, real honest. And I thought, hey, this is a guy that's laying it all out there. Got to go with these guys. Okay, the working with Crawlspace Ace was really real easy. Initially, we started out with doing soda blasting, insulation issues, some repairs, and encapsulation. And we actually ran into the situation where we needed to have some structural work done to underneath. And rather than finding somebody else to do that, one of the crew said, hey, we can do that. And they were really helpful. I crawled underneath the house with them, and they showed me what was wrong, what they probably would do to repair it, and then from there they put together a proposal And I tell you, I showed it to my historical contractor that I initially used, and he was really impressed because the contracts laid everything out, had everything that was going to be done, had dollar figures on it, and then it was just sitting down with Lee and just kind of figuring out, okay, what kind of combinations of things do we have to do to get us to where we want to be. I think there was a lot of trust early on, and it was not only the videos that were posted online, but it was the amount of information that was given to us in the contract. The contract spelled everything out in detail. It broke everything down as to price. I don't, looking back at it, there were no overruns. I actually added a few things on that after getting into it that I thought this house could use. So there wasn't, wasn't pressure to add on. There wasn't project creep. It was just a good, honest, upfront process. Unexpected things always pop up, and there was one, and on rainy, humid days, before all the work was done, the humidity, if the humidity outside was 85 to 95%, it would be probably 85, 90 in the house. It was very humid. The moisture just percolated up from the basement. The front rooms had a real moldy, mildewy smell. That was from the mold and mildew underneath the house. I think former owners had cats and animals, and it just reeked on humid days. The one unexpected thing that happened that I didn't really believe was it all went away. And I was told by Lee and some of the techs that, yeah, you won't smell anything. And I just kind of, I didn't roll my eyes right in their faces, but I kind of rolled my eyes in the back of my head and thought, okay, yeah. But the first horribly rainy week, it was clean and fresh smelling in here, and it was wonderful. Yeah, the repairs really fixed all the problems, basically. We had high humidity levels in the house, just a horrible mildew, moldy smell through the house that percolated up from the joists and the subfloor into the first floor, and really made it miserable to sit in the first floor. It was just stinky beyond belief. The soda blasting got rid of most of that. Once the insulation was put in and the encapsulation was done, that essentially just locked so much of the humidity out of the structure of the house. It brought the humidity level way down, probably cut it by at least half, and just totally eliminated the mold, mildew, and the pet odors that were kind of coming up in the super damp weather from some of the floorboard areas. If I didn't get Crawlspace Ace out here to take care of everything, I think we probably wouldn't be living on the first floor front of the house. It just was, the odor was just unbearable, unlivable, at least in super humid times. And I think had we not gone with Crawlspace Ace, our original historical contractor that was going to be getting people together for us, probably would have had a stroke trying to find 2 or 3 other companies, maybe up to 5 companies, to do all the work that was needed And you know, again, I think we were real lucky to run into Crawlspace Ace because they did it all for us. Yeah, one of the things that was put in, we had to have a sump system put in the basement because we had a lot of water, a lot of moisture in the crawl space. And one thing that Lee had put in were water sensors, and it's called YoLink. It hooks up to a hub that hooks into your network, and they're essentially water sensors that go in the tray of the dehumidifier and by the sump pit. So in case moisture starts building up, or in case they fail or shut off, moisture would accumulate and they would send little sensors off. And then what it does is I'm notified on the YoLink app. And the real nice thing that I kind of found out by myself that I think Crawlspace Ace should incorporate is you can get sensors, and they're temperature, humidity sensors. And so I've got, I put one in the sump room, and or right by the sump, hung it up, and it's probably about 50 degrees outside. It's like 67 degrees right now, and 49% humidity, and it's really nice. It's like instant feedback, knowing that the humidity is probably on an average day maybe almost half lower than what it used to be, because I would put little gauges down there, and it was just so humid under there. But it's neat because you can chart this stuff. It's really handy to know what the heck is going on underneath your house, and you can also put them in your house to see where the moisture is going and how it wicks out through the house during a regular time.